describe the last meme that you really enjoyed?
No.
All right, and with that, we return to the PFscheme podcast. This is episode 4. Are you okay?
Yeah.
What just happened to you?
I feel like I'm so far away from you.
Okay, it's because I'm sitting down. All right, I'll sit. Is this better?
A little.
A little. What do you want? Do you want me to be right in your face? That's this is the
Perfect.
ideal podcasting.
No. I just nothing. No, it's fine. Please stop.
All right. Well, this is the 4th episode in our continuing saga of debates. Continuing our theme of last episode of Land v. Sea, we are going to be diving in, and by diving in, I mean running upon the land. Because today we have switched planes, realms, and I will be speaking on the part of a land animal, while Sasha is, defending and giving us the virtues of a sea animal.
Correct.
And Sasha, what's on the docket today?
Oof. Okay. Yeah, we doing horses today. Seahorses versus land horses.
Land horses.
And seahorses are clearly better.
I don't know about that. We're gonna see.
You can start this time.
I can start? Okay. Land horses. Oh my god. Have you ever met a little girl that did not love a land horse? When a little girl is like, "Hey, Daddy, you know what I really want for Christmas?" At no point has she ever said, "I would like a seahorse." She wants a goddamn pony that she can ride on. That is why land horses are the best, because, hell hath no fury like a 3-year-old who didn't get a pony.
But they don't usually get ponies. They don't get it, so just making expectations that no one can fulfill.
So you think she would be happier if she was given an actual sea lion? Or a sea lion? Seahorse? She'd be so unhappy. She wanted a horse. Not only did she not get a horse, she didn't even get a seahorse. She got a sea lion.
It's more feasible, though.
To get her a sea lion?
Yeah. They are sold as pets. I'm not condoning
Sea
this.
lions are seahorses.
Seahorses?
Seahorse? Yeah. It's like I want a hippopotamus for Christmas, except it's just a huge blubber animal.
So do you think, I think a girl would be happier to get a lion than a sea lion and bring us back to the previous debate. No, okay.
But yes,
so
okay.
Continue your...
Well, no, to your point, yes, it's probably more feasible for a parent to get a seahorse for their child. But, the child wants a horse.
Okay, that's your opening statement.
That's my opening statement. Little girls want horses, not seahorses.
Okay, so... Seahorses. Seahorses are the closest thing in the world that we have to fairies.
What? Where's the science?
I mean, look at this. So, anyone who's listening, look up beautiful seahorse, and the first one you find is this iridescent, not really, but it's rainbow. It's beautiful. They come in many different colors. They're magic. They're basically magical.
I don't know. Sorry, I won't interrupt.
No, that was it, basically. And just make sure you look it up, okay? And we'll put this picture on the screen.
Well, okay, but if you're saying animals of the sea, I would definitely say the closer thing to a fairy was what would be one of those flying sea slugs, the ones that look like butterflies. And if you're trying to say closest to a fairy, I'm gonna say that a butterfly is closer to a fairy than a these guys.
Okay, there are many fairies.
There are many sea fairies.
Wait, don't look at this.
Did you predict sea cucumber? Okay. Well, by that logic, then I can say horses are the closest things to unicorn and Pegasus. And I'm sorry, if you're gonna choose a fairy over a Pegasus or a unicorn, I think you've got your priorities really, really out of whack.
Bruh, look at this. That's basically my main statement. They're beautiful. They're much more beautiful than horses. They come in more colors. They have snoots. These long snoots. You cannot deny the snoot.
The snoot has some skill, but like, how are you gonna feed it? It's not gonna eat an apple out of your hand.
It can hunt for itself.
It can hunt for itself.
I don't know. Actually, I don't remember what you have to feed them because they are available as pets, but it is possible to feed them.
Okay.
You can hold them. It's not recommended, but you can, and they might like wind their little tail thing around your finger. Isn't that
that's very sweet? But land horses. So land horses. We cannot say human civilization would be nowhere if it was not for land horses. There was a point where land horses were not all over the world, and it was only because certain groups of people were like, oh, we found how great, look at this animal, look how big it is. We can ride it, it can bring us from one place to another, we can use it to stomp on other people. People often underestimate the stomping ability of a horse, but hey Google, how big is a Clydesdale horse?
17 to 18 hands. On the website Britannica.com, they say the Clydesdale averages 17 to 18 hands, 68 to 72 inches, 173 to 183 centimeters tall, and 2,000 pounds to 900 kilograms in weight.
900 kilograms.
To find out more.
Okay, Google, that's enough. Thank you.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Yeah,
they big.
Yeah, you could squash a boy's head in that. How many seahorses would it take to squash one man's head? You'd have to have like 1,000 seahorses to squash a man's head. So yeah, if it weren't for horses, the human race would not be where it is today. Now, if we're going into the land of Disney, I will admit that King Trident did have many seahorses that pulled him around in, Disney's Little Mermaid. So maybe they have done an equal amount of good things for the sea people. But I will argue that, the sea people have had a good civilization with or without the seahorses. Our civilization would not be where it is without horses.
Yeah, that's a pretty good argument, I guess. Seahorses, again, we're not profiting from them, They're just allowed to be without our interference.
Yeah, for both of these, you're coming on the side of like, listen, they have not been corrupted by capitalism. Yeah, lions, they refuse to have jobs. Seahorses, they're like, you know what, I don't need a job. I can just exist. I wanna live on a commune with my seahorse friends, have a good life. Whereas horses, they're like, oh no, I want to have a job. I want to have a little man riding on my back and have my hair brushed beautifully and braided.
Yes. Should I say another point?
Yes.
Okay.
That is how it goes. Usually I say a point and you say a point.
I don't really have an argument for this. I can't really be like, yes, no, seahorses have done so much more for humans. You just didn't know the secret shadow seahorse society.
What would the secret shadow seahorse society be all about?
They're clearly magical, so they're like doing magic things, randomly curing people of diseases.
Are they entirely sea-based, or are they curing land-based, people? Or only sea
I don't know, man. I'm not part of the society. This is theoretical.
All right, well, if you have an in to the what was it? The Secret Society of Seahorses? Secret Society of Seahorses. The SSSH. If you got an into the SSSH, write in. Please let us know. What is on the agenda for the Secret Society? I swear we are not going to tell anyone.
Yes. That was not my point, though. My point, yeah, since I'm switching gears. So, unfortunately, the whole thing about, when there's, like, a bunch of seahorses of the same gender, that one of them will switch isn't apparently not true. Apparently it's, like, an urban legend or something.
What?
But the true thing is that the males are the ones that give birth.
Yeah, that was my understanding as well.
Okay.
So, tell the people what's happening.
Right now, there's a seahorse in front of me. So the females have the eggs, the males fertilize the eggs, but the females give the males the eggs, and the males fertilize it in a pouch, and then they give birth.
Wait, is it fertilized in the female, or the female's just like, listen, I made the egg, I think
the female just gives the egg, and then it's fertilized in the male's pouch. It seems so. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's great. So I thought it was like half a gestational thing, but she's just like, listen, I'm making the egg. The rest is for you.
And they don't necessarily mate for life, but they can mate for life. It does happen, so.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, they're loyal. Oh man, these are good creatures, but the horses are better. But these are very good creatures. How big are seahorses usually?
Oh, damn.
Okay, Google, how big is a seahorse?
These upright swimming relatives of the pipefish can range in size from 0.6 inches to 14 inches long.
Oh man.
I also found an answer
Okay,
to
stop.
this
That's enough, Google.
Enough.
Again, there's no reason to be rude to her.
Actually, 14 inches.
14 inches, that's big. That's bigger than, even the most desired penis.
Yes. How long is a ruler?
A ruler is 12 inches, typically, isn't it? Well, like, there are rulers of many other sizes.
I guess maybe if the tail is, like, completely extended. I can't imagine this. It seems huge. I always thought they were, like, my size of my hand.
Well, there's some that are only, like, an inch long.
Well,
or
the
2.5 centimeters, metric girl. Yeah, the babies. But are there not just, like, schools of them that are just, like a mist? Like a magical fairy mist?
So there's my point, not the size. Wait, what? Why were you talking about size?
I don't know, man. I was wondering how big they were.
Oh, well.
What was your point?
I had no point. I mean, my point was the thing about the mating for life sometimes. Apparently, like, the female has a big territory that the male has, like, a small part of, I think. It's, like, 100 square meters? No, that's not right. Yes, 100 square meters, and males have territories about 0.5 square meters.
0.5 square meters. So, like, the female just has a bigger territory.
Yeah.
So, like...
And the male has a territory within the female's territory, I think.
Oh, okay. So, it's like girl bosses. Seahorses are girl bosses, yo! Yeah, that's rough. Because, like, the only thing that I can think of that horses have equivalency is, like, racing horses. And, you never get, like, a female racing horse being like, yeah, we're gonna put her out to... She wouldn't be putting out to stud. We're gonna put her out to conceive. They don't say that. Because, like, okay, if there's a racehorse and it's like, oh man, this racehorse is really good. He's won a bunch of races. He's done his career now. But we'll put him out to stud where he just, like, has all of the sex and has all of the babies. And they're like, okay, this horse is worth some stuff. But, like, clearly he's got an advantage and he's got more, value. But, conversely, the seahorses... They're treating, if you'll excuse the gendered term, they're treating the boy seahorses like little bitches. Listen, look at my beautiful large kingdom. You can sit in that shoebox over there. I'll call you when I need you, when I got an egg for you to take.
Did you know this, that all racehorses have the same birthday?
Why? So again, this is obviously not good to my point. This is a good thing for you to bring up. But why would they have the same birthday?
It's to keep. Also, they're all the same shape, all the same. Yeah.
How can they be? How can they ensure that they're all born on the same day?
Probably. I don't know.
Are they giving horse C-sections?
No, I think that...
Is it just on paper? Because then also that's pointless.
Maybe. It might be that. It might also be that, like, I don't know, 6 months, however long a pregnancy lasts, 6 months before, that's when they, like, introduce the horses to each other. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's much more romantic. I think that it's an artificial insemination type process. It's like, all right, so it's like an arranged horse marriage. All right, well, it seems like you're from a good family. I consent for my horse to meet your horse. All right, we will introduce them, and hopefully things will go well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, this had no point to anything. Like, I'm not arguing against this.
But you
allow horses to have different birthdays. They'll all be sad because they won't have a special day just for them.
Yeah, Whereas, seahorses, they're allowed to have any birthday they like when they're actually born.
Yep. Anyways, okay. Next point. Good point.
I'm gonna go back to the fact. Well, listen, I'm gonna say that if we're looking at pure entertainment, nothing has brought us more entertainment than land horses. Land horses, if we just go back to actual horse racing, they got little guys on top of them, so you're rooting for the guy, you're rooting for the horse. You have nothing like that in the ocean. How would you even organize the seahorses to race? Are seahorses fast? They're not as fast as a horse. If you try and race a horse versus a seahorse, I'm sorry, the horse is gonna win, even if you take the smallest horse alive on Earth.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Horses are pretty fast, pretty entertaining. So I don't have an argument for that, so I'll just give my next argument. Horse biology is terrible. Horses are probably sad that they have their bodies that they do.
I just have poor self-esteem. There's a horse looking in a mirror being like, man, I wish I was a rutabaga. Body dysmorphia in horses. These unrealistic standards for horses. Horses want to be rutabagas. It's not even possible. They got too many legs.
They have too many fingers. Do you know that horses' front legs are fingers? They have 2 fingers per leg. Per front leg.
What the fuck?
Like, that's why I'm saying, like, their bodies are messed up. Like, we are messed up. We have, like, messed up spines and, like, knees and stuff, but horses are much worse. Like,
how does that even work? Where's their hand then? Is it like, do they, like, because I understood the shoulder was like there, but is it just like 2 fingers coming out of a shoulder?
I think so. I don't know. I think I'm not a horse biology expert, but
listen, I'm a seahorse biology expert. You were supposed to do this research. So, okay, do you have any more points?
Yes. Horses. People love horses too much. This is why they create like a horse dating game. You know, it's gone too far.
A horse dating game? What is this?
So Google, if you've never seen it before, Google My Horse Prince and look at the images. You will...
This is nightmare fuel.
This is nightmare fuel.
Like, so, yeah, well... So there's the rumor that Catherine the Great, you know, did the dirty with a horse.
Yeah, see, people love horses too much.
But but we didn't say that was to slander her. That was not, like, that's not accurate. She, like... I don't know what you'd have to do to make a horse be like, yeah, I'll fuck this tiny creature that does not look or smell like me, and also like they did that with a poor dolphin where they like made a dolphin just live with a woman, and the dolphin was like, oh man, I want to fuck, and it would get angry if it wasn't wanked off, so they made the girl wank off the dolphin. I don't think that's ever happened with horses, and I don't want to know why. Monica, keep all of your horse fucking pornography to yourself.
That adds to my point.
Yes, no one has ever tried to molest a seahorse, yes, as far as we know.
Hi. Do you often find yourself stuck in situations where other people are talking to you and you can't seem to escape? I remember a couple of moments where I wasn't able to tell lads I wasn't interested and was slowly, figuratively, and literally backed into a corner. Situations that usually pop up are, I don't know, at a bank, at a meeting, at the coffee shop, at the library. I don't go to the library. That's why today's sponsor is so useful. Rats! In addition to being beautiful and kind little chaos potatoes, rats are also very easy to store, and most people aren't very comfortable around them. If, for example, you were in a conversation that you weren't particularly enjoying, but you didn't know how to get away, one of the best ways to do this would be to introduce a rat. Jesus! Okay, trying to get a robber to leave your house alone? Just release a bunch of rats. Ah! Thank you to Rats for sponsoring our podcast. Back to the show.
It's battle time?
It's battle time. You
okay.
Go.
So, in this world where we are having a battle, seahorse v land horse, I would say that because the size is so unmatched, I think that it's only fair if we give the seahorse like a herd of seahorses versus one land horse. So, and then we've got. I think we got a real challenge here because as much as horses can swim, they don't really like to swim, and I'm pretty sure that seahorses cannot land.
Cannot land. I mean, it could just be like some shallow water. It doesn't have to be like,
yeah,
you know, just like a seahorse-sized pool, maybe a bit higher, not 14 inches.
Yeah,
horses are big, so
horses are big. I'd say to give the, you know, to make things fair, what we would do, it would be again. The arena, it's the size of a hockey rink. And then we got
so many seahorses.
no.
Full of seahorses and one horse in the middle.
No, but it would be the same setup where, you know, the horse could escape should it need to. So, you know, there's a certain amount of beach and then it goes to like the land of the seahorses. Or the sea of the seahorses. And I'd say, because I don't think that, you know, in this theoretical world we will have, you know, convinced through totally ethical means that these two animals will need to fight for us. Well, not for us, but for their species. I think to get the horse into the water, we would just have to drop the horse into the water.
So the horse wouldn't go there willingly?
I don't know. Why would the horse go into the water?
I thought you said that because the horse wants to fight.
Yeah.
So does this mean this horse has to kill all the seahorses?
I think so.
Okay.
Or that the seahorses will have to, like, have a delegation that be like, okay, we give up.
Okay.
It's just like capture the flags with each, well, not capture the flags, but yeah, no, they could have a truce, or one could give up, or one vanquishes the other by just total killage. So I'm gonna say, you know, if we give the seahorses the advantage that the horse begins completely submerged, or at least plopped into the deep end, you know, I would argue that, you know, the horse, first thing the horse would try and do is, you know, swim to land.
Okay, is it like a first move, horse, swim to land?
Yes, horse attempts to swim to land. What do the seahorses do? So,
it's difficult because, I mean, seahorses don't really have, like, weapons. They just, like, you know, they just, like, I'm pretty sure they just, that's...
they just slurp?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just, like, you know, they don't bite things, you know?
What do they eat?
Little things.
Like algae? Do they got teeth? Or for this exercise, seahorses have teeth and can bite or sting.
They can just.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
So they're giving hickeys. So the swarm of seahorses could be giving hickeys to the land horse.
I mean, the thing is, you can give the seahorse a weapon.
How come the horse doesn't get a weapon?
What, you can give the horse a weapon? Do you think that's gonna help?
Horse, I have given you this taser. I don't need thumbs, you idiot. I got fingers, but I got no thumbs.
The only thing I can see is if you gave a seahorse, like, a little needle that's poisoned that it can, like, stab the horse with.
So I'm imagining the advantage would be, you know, in this case, it's like the horse versus a swarm of bees.
But the bees have venom. Seahorses don't have venom.
They have teeth, though.
Okay, if you say seahorses have teeth, fine. We're gonna make these magical seahorses and have... Oh my god.
Alright, these seahorses have venom then, fine.
Okay.
The seahorses have venom. So it takes a certain amount of seahorse venom to... Seahorses have teeth!
They don't have teeth. So we're making up these, venomous
seahorses.
Okay.
So, you know, the seahorses start, you know, biting the horse with the venom.
Yep.
The horse maybe gets a little woozy. But the horse now has gotten up to maybe, you know, hoof deep. So, like, the horse can now feel the ground. So the horse is now, like, wrestling with these seahorses, with a bunch of them. A bunch of the seahorses, I'm sure, are biting on. So the horse is, you know, maybe halfway out with many seahorses that are, like, just bitten on, trying to fight for the, you know, the good cause, you know, asphyxiating because they're not in the water. Those ones that are not in the water, the horse will just shake off, and those ones will be concussed.
Okay, but now the horse is on land, and the seahorse is
It's not on land yet. He's only chest deep now.
He said hoof deep.
Hoof deep. Well, I mean, like, his hoof will have hit the sand part, but he's still in the water.
Oh.
So right now he's, like, chest deep. So all the ones that were biting his neck are out of the water. So those guys are basically dead.
Aim for the stomach or the something.
The stomach, eh? Okay, yeah.
Because
yeah.
I don't think horses can, like, kick inwards.
Yeah. All right, so that's good. They're going to the stomach. For the ones that have not gone to the stomach, the horse will start smushing them.
Well, if they're, like, underneath the feet.
I just splashed myself with coffee. Yes. So the ones that are underneath the feet,
So, I mean, then they would have to not be smart. They would have to be dumb enough to just stay by the horse's feet for some reason.
Yeah, have you seen the size of a seahorse's brain?
So we're
It's
just
little.
Saying, so we're saying they can have no strategy then, because otherwise they wouldn't go for the stomach. They just, like, go for anything.
No. Some of them, there's probably some smart
Okay.
seahorses. Some of them will have gone for the stomach. But the ones that were not smart will,
Get smushed. Stepping underwater is much more difficult than not stepping underwater, I feel like it's gonna be slow.
Yeah, it will be slow. So, there's probably still a lot of seahorses that are alive. Only a few get smushed. There's, there were like 10% that got asphyxiated initially because they were taken out and, concussed when they were thrown off. Another 5% maybe have been smushed because, they're like, oh, this water's soft and the sand's soft. And only some of them will have gotten squashed. The rest of them are like going at the stomach. All right, the land horse would be like, oh, my tummy hurts. So I'm gonna say the land horse will be then getting out of water. But at that point, I bet they would have bitten through the horse's stomach and all of its organs would fall out. The seahorses would not have enough air. would because they're out of air, so they die.
There's one seahorse waiting.
Yeah, so any of the ones that were thrown off, they would survive, but the majority of the seahorses would die, as would the horse die.
Yeah.
All right, well, mutual death.
Okay, sure.
All right, so the conscientious objector, seahorse, would stay alive, but seems like it's quite a truce between the land horses and the seahorses.
If seahorses had venom.
If seahorses had venom.
And teeth. Venom/teeth.
All right, well, that wound up being a little bit more depressing. I feel like the land lion versus the sea lion, they had a little bit more of a civil end to their fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, seahorses cannot fight a horse.
What are you talking? What was this all for? All right, folks. Well, if you have any thoughts on what the greater creature is, if it be a seahorse or a land horse, and if you could have a swarm of seahorses take you around in the water, or a single land horse, just, I don't know, to hang out with.
Hang out with. Chilling on your couch.
Yeah, just have a house horse. It's necessary. Please let us know. And as always, for 4 times now, thank you very much for listening to the PFscheme podcast.
Peace.